What are the top 10 things that you need to learn to become a successful trader? We are going to talk about that coming up next. So to become a successful forex trader, you need to learn a lot of things. So to sum it down, everything together, I will classify them into 10 main things that you need to learn. First thing first, you need to learn the basic technical analysis, which I know is your favorite, but your favorite doesn't mean that it works best to give you the most amount of profits. Technical analysis, I know that the most sexy thing, the best thing is the thing that most traders focus on, and that's the first thing that they learn when they come to forex trading. When they pick up a forex trading book, the first chapter that they turn to, technical analysis chapter. Don't tell me no nonsense shit, just give me the indicator that you are using. So if you learn technical analysis, there are lots of things that you need to focus on. How to evaluate volume, how to trade the market, momentum. I'm writing vertical because this is the size of my whiteboard. Alright. And then you need to learn how to read price action, especially if you rely mainly on price action for trading. And if you firmly believe that none of the indicators work except for candlestick price action. Okay? So of course you have tons of indicators that people talk about. Then of course you need to learn how to properly define what is the support and resistance. Can be trend lines, can be horizontal support resistance lines, can be moving average, okay? And of course, you have the very common moving average lines. And of course, your RSI, MACD, all that will be classified all under here, okay? I'm not going to detail. And the second thing that you need to learn as a forex trader is the fundamental analysis. This is what the pros focus more on. If you want to trade more like the pros, focus more on fundamental analysis, go a little bit more long term. If you're a scalper right now, you feel that it's very tiring to scalp every single second of every single day, sitting in front of the computer every single second, and then it might be a sign that it's time to move to a higher time frame. You go to sleep at night and then be like, oh shit, is the market going up or going down? That is also a sign that trading really short time frames is not for you. If you want to reduce your stress in trading, increase your time frame. So when you learn fundamental analysis, you also need to learn a little bit about economics. Okay, you have a little bit knowledge about economics, which I've learned in university. I still remember that I took an economics test, studied the textbook this thick, one day before the economics test. Instead of studying the night before the test, I went to meet my friend Adam Khoo. And guess what happened to my quiz? I get full marks. Thug life! But of course, when it comes to subjects like literature, the grade isn't so pretty. When you learn fundamental analysis, you also need to learn how the political events impact the forex markets. You need to learn how the central bank decisions is going to move the currency markets. You need to learn how interest rates is going to move the currency markets. And so you need to know how the random events like natural disasters affect the financial markets. Of course, these are things that you can't predict, which is why it's a very good idea to implement component number 3. When you want to become a successful forex trader, you also need to learn the risk management aspect. Okay, super important. Now when it comes to risk management, you need to learn how do you determine your drawdown, how do you determine your risk per trade, how do you calculate your lot size. And when it comes to calculating your lot size, you need to also then understand how do you determine your value per pip. Now I've already done a video on that. If you can't find it, too bad, because I'm not going to find it for you. You hear me? And there are many aspects of risk management too. You also need to understand how would market risk affect your trading. Market risk and even counterparty risk. These are just some of them, okay? Have your risk management plan in place. And the fourth thing that you need to learn as a forex trader is trading psychology. Easier said than done to learn this, You can't really learn this in a way. The best way to hone it is through practice. The more you practice, the better it is. Because there are so many emotions that you need to handle. How do you handle fear? Fear of missing out, fear of losing, fear of winning too much money. Do people fear that anyway? Do you fear that? There's another common emotion, greed. How do you handle greed? How do you handle desperate times when you really need money? How do you handle those days when you're depressed but there is a trade? How do you handle those days when you're super excited and there is a trade? How do you handle those days where you just don't feel like doing anything and there is a trade? How do you handle a string of losing streaks and get back up the next day? The next thing you need to learn is sentiment analysis. What is sentiment analysis? To put it simply, is how the markets are feeling right now, how the traders are feeling right now, how the investors are feeling right now. Are they feeling bullish, optimistic, or are they feeling pessimistic, bearish? How do you evaluate that? Some of the ways that you can do it is by using volatility index, or in short, VIX. You also need to learn how to evaluate the COT reports. And you also need to learn how to determine the market psychology. In other words, you also need to know a little bit about behavioral finance, and that's a whole entire topic itself. How do you trade in such a way that you're going contrary to what traders are doing? How do you put a little bit of contrarian flavor into your trading, into your investing? If you talk to very successful hedge fund managers, they will always say that successful traders and investors have a contrarian flavor to their decision-making process. And also, you know the quote by Warren Buffett, be fearful when others are greedy, be greedy when others are fearful. Okay, sentiment analysis, a whole topic by itself. The next thing that you need to learn is how do you choose and pick the right broker. Out of the many different types of broker, you need to understand how a market maker operates, how an STP operates, how an ECN broker operates. And in addition to that, how do you properly go through a checklist one by one so that you can say that, okay, I'm going to work with this broker. And again, I've done a video on that. How do you deal with your broker? How do you talk to your broker? How do you make sure that your broker loves you? Or does it love your money bank account more? The next thing that you need to learn as a forex trader is, especially if you're just like me, investing in many asset classes, trading many asset classes, okay, is to how do you properly allocate your portfolio in such a way that you have a diversified and balanced portfolio. You need to learn how to diversify properly. This one I studied in super detail during my university. My professor literally trained me so hard on this. It's like, if you want me to do a video on diversification of your portfolio, let me know down in the comment section below. And in order to diversify properly, you need to also know how your different markets affect the movement of the forex market. How does the stock price movement, how does the oil price movement affect the currency that you are trading? In other words, you need to learn how to do inter-market analysis. Then of course, the next thing you need to learn how to use is your trading platform. Personally, I am trained to use Bloomberg platform, which is what the pros use. Before I even learned how to use MetaTrader 4. So Bloomberg, I learned that during my finance degree in university because like everybody is using Bloomberg. Whenever we go to classes, we need to use Bloomberg terminals to research on equities and also the financial markets. I also attended many classes on Bloomberg. I get a lot of questions from people, oh, which is the best platform out there? As a beginner for you, if you don't have any finance background, it is fine to start with MT4, which is what a lot of retail traders use. Then I get people be like, Karen, can you please help me get the Bloomberg terminal? Karen, can you please help me find the Bloomberg terminal? Well, there's this very useful website that I'm going to recommend to you, okay? It's called www.google.com. Google it. Of course, assuming that you are starting with MT4, you need to familiarize yourself on how to use. You need to learn how to properly execute the right kind of order. Buy limit, buy stop, sell stop, don't press the wrong one. And of course, if you are trading with news, you also need to understand how do you evaluate and pick the right kind of news from your trading platform. Because you are in the finance industry, there will be jargons that a lot of financial professionals use, and you need to know that. So as a forex trader, you also need to understand what are the basic finance terms, trading terms that people use. What is a spread? What is a risk-reward ratio? What does it mean by short, long, straddle, call, put, Sharpe ratio? Capital asset pricing model, market efficiency theory. Understand all the basic financial terms. Because in the event, if you go to a networking event for traders and investors, and you have all the hedge fund managers over there, you have all the finance professionals, you have all the prop traders, professional traders, and they come up to you and then they be like, what do you think about the head and shoulder pattern? Then you're like, I'm sorry, I don't use head and shoulder shampoo. Go and study all the basic, commonly used terms. Trust me, it's going to help you in the long run. And of course, the final thing that you need to learn, the business aspects of trading. How do you sustain your forex trading business in the long term rather than pursuing this like a freaking get-rich-quick scheme? So in order to run this like a real business, you need to learn how to properly craft your trading plan. And you need to know how to properly record down onto your trading journal. You need to determine how much money should you reinvest back into your business in the event you make a lot of money from the forex market. And how much portion of your profits should you take out and then put into other assets? How much portion of your account should you let it be there and compound? That you need to know too. So of course there are many other things that you need to learn when it comes to becoming a successful forex trader, running a successful forex business, but these are just some of them. Which is why I never ever believe that you can just attend a one-day course and then like become a millionaire next week. If it is so easy to learn all of this in one day and then become a millionaire, everybody would do it. You need to take one whole entire day to even become an expert in any of these one aspects. In fact, I took many months, many years to study each aspect properly. If it takes you one whole entire week just to learn about volatility index, then so be it. Because this is what the learning journey should be. It should be a gradual education rather than a sprint. I took 3 whole entire years in finance school to learn about financial markets. And even till today, I am still constantly learning new things. So don't go around and be like, Karen, why am I not a millionaire yet? And then I'll ask them, how long have you been learning forex? Like 3 months. If you come to trading and expect to put in 3 months of 100% effort and then expect to come out the 4th month a millionaire, don't go and pursue trading, because if you go get a job at McDonald's, you could have earned more within that 3 months as compared to sitting at home on Friday night, Saturday night learning about forex. Put in the patience, learn every single little thing. If it takes you 1 month to just learn about trading plan, then so be it. Then 1 month it is. The reason why most traders quit, the reason why most traders fail, they skip learning all of these things and all they focus on is the sexy part. Give me the right kind of indicators and I'm going to go live tomorrow because I am that talented as a trader. I don't care how talented you are. Talent can only get you so far. And what kind of work do you put in? Learning all of these by heart, one by one. Be patient, super patient about this. The forex market would reward those who are patient, who never rush things, who never come in here expecting the market to give them something when they haven't even put in any single learning. So then let me know down in the comment section below, which area are you working on right now and what do you want me to cover more on in future videos. So with that, I wish you all the best in your trading learning journey. I'm Careful and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.